All right, should be live. I have literally nothing set up, but that's okay. We do have a tornado warning here. Just rushed this live stream to get it up. As you can see, let me just make sure that we are live, so I'm not speaking into the darkness here. Yeah, we are live, so that's good. But yeah, we do have a tornado warning here. This is for Boynton Beach, Hypoluxo, South Palm Beach, Brittany Breezes, Gulf Stream. You guys need to be in your safe spots, and Delray Beach. Unfortunately, we don't have one of those, good radars nearby. So again, this is going to be another situation where we're going to be struggling to see any kind of debris ball with this storm. But I mean, we can still kind of see it um, with this radar that is further away. Let's just make sure that there is nothing happening on the correlation coefficient. Yeah, I can't tell whether or not there is a debris ball on, or I can tell, sorry, whether or not there is a debris ball. At least at least that we can see with this radar here, which I'm not seeing one, so that's good. But yeah, this is heading. It's kind of a stalling storm. It's really not moving too much, and it's heading towards Boynton Beach, Brittany Breezes, Gulfstream, and Delray Beach. So if you live in those areas, make sure you are going to your safe spots. Okay, so there's that. So I did have a view on this thing, so let's go and get that up really quick. Okay. There's Pompano Beach, and then Boynton Beach should be here. Let's see. What is this one? No, it was one of these guys here. Well, I did have a view, I promise. Okay, this one's kind of got a view, so we'll bring this back. So this is that storm near Boynton Beach. Yeah, there we go. And you can see back into the right. That is where anything would form with this storm. So keep your eye over there. If anything does happen, it'll happen kind of like to the right of the road here. So this is the view near Boynton Beach of this tornado warned storm. So we got eyes on radar and eyes on the ground. I'm not seeing like a funnel or anything at this moment, but I'm definitely seeing a storm. It's raining. It's a little windy. You can tell by that tree on the bottom left. So definitely a storm to keep an eye on for sure. Let's come back over to here, get the latest scan here. Let me bring up chat really quick. There's that. Sorry, I just kind of rushed to go live here. Yeah, we still don't have the latest radar scan just yet. Let's see. We got I gotta pull up the warning text as well while we wait for the next scan. Desktop, prod, OBS server. There we go. There's that. And then I gotta resize this while we wait. There. 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 Okay, perfect. Okay, we're kind of got it good enough here. Yeah, latest scan from this radar showing a little bit broader rotation here with some, grays in between the greens and the reds. That's what that means. And that is heading pretty much directly towards Boynton Beach itself there. So, if you guys live in Boynton Beach, watch out. You're going to be next in line for the storm. If we use this radar, this terminal radar that's a little bit closer here, you can see that it's not as organized as a rotation. Maybe some stronger rotation there just to the south and east of Rainbow Lakes. A little bit tighter, but still pretty weak, according to this radar close up. But definitely some stronger rotation higher up in the atmosphere here. So definitely got to continue to watch that. But again, if you're just tuning in, we have a tornado warning here in South Florida, and that is just to the north of Boynton Beach. So Delray Beach, Lake Worth, which is north of Fort Lauderdale. If you didn't know that. And we also have some other storms in the area. Another one here near Spring Hill, looking pretty beefy there. Kind of moving slow as well, heading down south of Dade City. Some more storms south of Orlando, and then we got this other severe thunderstorm over here east of Lake City, heading down to Lake Butler. There wasn't a tornado risk for today, but I swear, almost, almost every time a storm approaches this eastern coast of whether no matter the sheer environment, it seems like it gets tornado warned. So you know, we'll have to keep an eye on this one. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely got some rotation in there, so it's definitely a storm where I would be in my safe spot. Again, your safe spot is the lowest, most interior room of your house. As many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible. Yeah, latest scan here, at least from higher up in the atmosphere, you can see we still have some rotation here, a little bit broad, still kind of heading in the general direction of Boynton Beach. But you can see it's kind of diving to the south and east, so it might go just to the south of Boynton Beach, maybe a little bit closer to Brittany Breezes and Gulf Stream if this continues. Let's come back over to here, see if we can see anything on this camera yet. Might be worth it to go a little bit more south than this. A little interesting feature on the right side near this tree here. Do y'all see that? Just to the left of these two tall pine trees on the very right of the screen. Know what that is. So we're starting to get rained out here. Yeah, on the far right, that looked very interesting. But now we're getting wrapped in rain. Let me see if we can get one. So Boynton Beach is a little bit further down here. So let's see if we can maybe find a camera that can show us anything further to the south, or maybe we'll just hope that that camera clears up there. We might be able to find one. Which way is this one looking? Big good that's looking north. I think this is looking south. Yeah, we'll keep it on this camera for now, and we'll look around after we get another scan, because I don't want to spend too much time searching here. Yeah, we still haven't got the latest scan yet. Still want Boynton Beach, Brittany Breezes, Gulf Stream in their safe spots. Again, a safe spot is the lowest, most interior room of your house. As many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible. A tornado shelter or a basement that is underground. One thing I do want to check, just to make sure, because I was messing around. I got this new vocal thing, and I want to make sure I turned off the auto tune because I was playing around with it yesterday. And it'd be kind of awkward if I've been doing this the whole time and that's been on. It's not like a super noticeable auto tune, so is it off? Yes, it's off. Okay. Just had to make sure. I gotta make sure the reverb is off as well. But I can turn on the reverb and do this. Have a little bit of reverb on there, which is pretty interesting. Bring that down. Maybe we'll use the auto tune whenever there's a new tornado warning. I have no idea. This maybe I don't need it at all, but it's definitely an interesting feature that I've never had access to, so I might play around with it a little bit unexpectedly. Okay, there's that latest scan, I think. Let's go back over here to the closer radar. That's looking a little bit closer to the ground here. Still a little bit of rotation in there, but again, it's very broad and diffuse right now. The main area I'm watching is back over here. Yeah, back over here near Sun Valley. It looks like that is probably the strongest area of rotation right now, but overall, it's kind of weak. You can see the storm, though. If I move this forward, you can see it's just really not moving too fast at all right now. Very slow moving storm. Looks like it's getting some mergers that are helping it, rotate every now and then. Still radar indicated. Do we have any indication of a funnel yet? We do not. Where's the tornado at? So we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now, but we do have a tornado warning here. It's just to the north of Miami and Fort Lauderdale and south of Port St. Lucie in southern Florida. Last night they did issue a marginal risk for this region, but they didn't have a tornado probability on it, which happens, especially down here in Florida. You get surprised. Florida is kind of similar to California in the sense that they, don't necessarily like you get surprised a lot from Florida when there even isn't even like a tornado risk issued for the area. Sometimes we get these surprises where storms start to rotate, especially near this eastern coast, and I really think that that has to do with the onshore flow near the surface of the ground kind of increases the backing as these storms make it close to the coast. Like this one didn't even really start to rotate at all until it got closer there. But all right, there's the latest scan near Boynton Beach, and it's the rotation is still right in this area here, just to the west of Boynton Beach. Let's go check this other radar just to make sure we don't have a debris ball showing up. Yeah, still not seeing a debris ball there, so that's good. So we'll keep this center frame here, and then I'm going to go back over here and search, see if we can get a clearer view of the storm. This is in the tornado warned area. It's actually underneath what appears to be like the main precipitation part of the storm. Just want to see if we can find a camera maybe even a little bit further south that's looking north. Don't think this one is looking at it. I mean, it's definitely looking at a storm, but I think there's storms to the south. Yeah, there's storms to the south. And I think that's what this one's looking at. It's not a bad view. In fact, we'll probably be able to see something cool from here. But it's not super helpful in terms of viewing the tornado warned storm. I'll put that under me for now. So we can have a view at least. You live in Boynton, well, you need to be in your safe spot. If this storm decides to, increase its rotation and it's gonna come very close to you, so you're under a tornado warning. Just make sure you are in your safe spot there in Boynton Beach, Brittany Breezes, and Gulfstream. Also Delray Beach as well. Anybody north of that though, they're not gonna really get much more out of this storm. Like South Palm Beach, Hypoluxo, Lake Worth. But maybe for Hypoluxo, um, like for these two cities here, you could potentially get this thing kind of dive south if it tries to really start to rotate a little bit more than it is and then drop a tornado. Sometimes what can happen, especially with these slower moving storms, you can get an occlusion and brings it up north. But they usually don't bring it, past this main precipitation here because that's a downdraft, really, which really screws up a tornado's ability to stay on the ground. Right now, we do not have. And your camera looks like something is about to drop. Where are you viewing from, Liam? Turnpike MM 103. Oh, that from over here? Yeah, it's one of these guys. Oh, wow, these cameras aren't bad. Okay, that's looking at the storm, though. Wow, look at this view. We'll keep on this view here. Just gonna check to see if we have the latest scan. We do not. Nothing's changed. So let me come back over here, try to find this cam. Put a photo of it in the Discord. That'll be really helpful. I got the Discord up. So if you put a photo of the location of it in the Discord, that'll help. Man, look at those clouds out in front of it though. It's like some of them are like barely letting the sun through there. Starting to rain in Boynton now. Yeah, yeah, that's going to continue for a little bit. This is a pretty slow moving storm, but it does seem like it's picking up speed here. Look at that. You see how that surges down to the south? It's definitely picking up speed now. The main thing we're monitoring here is, as this thing merges with this next little storm to its south, right before it exits out over the coast, it could increase its velocities or its rotation a little bit. Sent it in the Discord. Um, Northbound. Oh, it's that one. Okay, so that one's cleared up a little bit. So let's come back to there, maybe. That would be here. $195 northbound. Northwest 36th Street. Yeah, I have no idea where that is. Take a picture of the location of the cam itself without the cam up. Okay, latest scan here showing a little bit more rotation. Still got those grays in between there. Let me check the closer radar here just to make sure. Kind of the same signal on both of these. But yeah, a little bit more rotation. You can see that merger, which is this storm right here, is now starting to interact with this storm. You see that storm forms and starts to push up there. So, looks like they did allow the tornado warning to expire though. Yeah, still a little bit broad, like I said. But if it does tighten up here before it exits out on the coast, we'll definitely let you guys know. We'll stay on to watch this storm until it leaves the coast. But the tornado warning has expired. But if you live in like Brittany Breezes, Gulfstream, Delray Beach, you can come out of your safe spots, but I would, be ready to go back in, especially near the coast, just in case this merger does try to wrap the storm up a little bit more. Okay, so northwest. So now that there's no tornado warning, we can northwest 95. Because the invite is invalid. That's because I need to update. Okay, here's the cam that they were looking at. Yeah, let me update that invite link as they're brief. They're brief invite links, and so when I don't update it on the description, it doesn't. But I'll get that latest invite link in the description. Okay, that's changed, and then I'll put it in chat. There you go. Yeah, here's the view. This is not the storm, though. This is the storm to the south. This would be the one that's merging. So that would be this storm here. That's merging up into Delray Beach here. So yeah, there's that merger. It's not the latest velocities, but it's definitely merging. See, right along the coast here, along North Ocean Road. I think still needs to watch this storm. I don't know if this is going to be a constructive or destructive merger. Hopefully it's destructive, which means that it ruins the rotation. If it's constructive, that means it can increase the rotation, and sometimes pretty quickly. So, although there is no more tornado warning, let me change my title here. Still think this storm could be a threat in the short term before it exits off the coast. Tornado threat. There we go. Save. There's the latest velocities. Yeah, still have some broader rotation. There's those reds, there's those greens. Still have some faded colors in between. So, not tight rotation just yet. And if we kind of look at the last frame here before this, let's see if it's increased or decreased at all. It's kind of decreased. Well, it's actually kind of the same. So no real changes there just yet. Let's come back over to here. See if we can figure out some better. Wow, look at this. Okay, that camera's that camera is gone. So that makes sense. I mean, this camera's not bad here. Wonder if it still has a view. Yeah, it still has a view. Look at all that rain in the background there. This is looking south of the storm. Is this new for Florida? What do you mean? Well, Wausau. That's Wisconsin, right? Yeah, I found it, Liam. I found it. We were just looking at it. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. But you weren't looking at the storm. You were looking at one of these guys down here. But it was a cool view, so it's a good catch. I mean, there are other storms out here as well. They're kind of doing the same thing, slowly building. This one back out here kind of looks suspicious to me. It's in a seems to be in a decent spot to maybe do something, but as of right now, it's kind of unorganized. Also, this one down here near Coral Springs has a very, very weak rotation to it. And then these ones near Miami are looking kind of non-threatening right now. Kind of go look at these other storms. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning over here south and east of Live Lake. Let's see, where is that? It's going away. That's anticyclonic. No rotation on these, but 1 inch hail is going to be possible with this storm that's going towards Lake Butler. Definitely want to be indoors and away from windows with that one. Can you get a link? Yeah, just type in yeah 511 Florida, just like Marcel said. Okay, latest scan here, a little bit of a tightening there. Not as many faded colors in between, and we're actually seeing some reds and greens touch here near Delray Beach. So not the strongest rotation though, still on the weaker end of rotations. And this merger hasn't quite completed yet, so it'd be a last minute, kind of a last minute tornado there if that actually tried to spin up. See if we can find any of these other storms. There's another one like up here. It's too far north. Just want to search around here for some views. See if we can't find anything cool to look at while we wait. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a dark cloud. You just joined. What about Claremont? Yeah, lots changed for you there. Let's see. Claremont, Florida. Where's Claremont? Yeah, you do have some storms around you. None of them seem to be heading towards you right now, except for these ones up here, maybe in the next 2 or 3 hours. This little pocket of showers could eventually make it down to you. But yeah, lots of thunderstorm activity happening over here near Lakeland and then Poinciana, also north of Kissimmee as well. Don't think any of these guys have rotation. Yeah, none of these storms have rotation, so we're not talking about a tornado threat with those right now. Oops, sorry. Yeah, Claremont's over here. And there's those storms that I was talking about. These ones won't come to you, but these ones up here could eventually make it down to you. But once that instability is, once we get into the nighttime hours out here, these storms are really going to fall apart. Still waiting on that latest scan here for this storm near Delray Beach. Yeah, very dark cloud here. Definitely an ominous looking cloud there. Every now and then you can find a real good view. This was not bad. How are we looking back down here? It wouldn't be a bad idea is to maybe try to find a camera that can give us a view after this thing passes to the south of these. 'Cause a lot of these were facing the wrong way earlier. They're still shrouded in rain, though. It's kind of our best view of these coastal storms, at least. We could take one south of Fort Lauderdale. Actually, just to the north of Fort Lauderdale. That wouldn't be a bad one, I don't think. Yeah, it looks like this merger so far is being a little bit destructive here. You can see that rotation is starting to get a little bit less concerning each scan, so that's good. These storms back here still got my interest. Let me check here with the smaller radar, but they're not really rotating at all, though, so not concerned about them just yet. Come back down to here. I want to try to get that. I want to try to get a view of that one. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. There's a view. Every now and then you can find a real nice cam in Florida. Boca Raton. Check that in the background here. Boca Raton. I think that's kind of near this area. Let me check. Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah, that's just to the south of this storm that we were watching earlier. But so far, it's just, heavy rain and lightning with these guys right now. Yeah, so what you're looking at here, don't think there's any rotation on this storm. There's not a whole lot of there's a whole lot of nothing on this storm. So what we're looking at here is most likely Scud. Let me double check where this camera is. It's all the way north of Fort Lauderdale. And it's looking north. Man, it looks a little interesting though, doesn't it? Just double checking, trying to get my bearing straight here. So it's right on that curve. I don't think that's anything though. Definitely looks it's definitely cool to look at though. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's like right in this region here. And it's looking north or probably something like this. So we're looking like at this here. Maybe this one's got a little bit of supercellular characteristics at all. No, I mean, there's really no rotation there. So I really don't think we're looking like a wall cloud or anything with this one, but it definitely looks like, and it's kind of like when we get like those radar signals, right, that come through. And it looks the storm itself looks like a supercell. And you think, oh man, that one's got to be rotating. It's got a hook, but then you go to the velocities, and it has no rotation. This is kind of like that, except in real life. This storm looks like it has a mesocyclone on it and a wall cloud underneath it. But I mean, there's no rotation showing up. Showing up. Actually, it says it's southwest looking. Yeah. I don't know which one to believe. This one says southwest, and this one says northbound. Okay. Now I'm getting confused. Southwest. If it's looking southwest. Okay, so which way is the storm moving? Dang it. I'm tired of trying to trust these cameras. So the storm looks to be moving right to left, which means we would be looking south. I think. Yeah, because if we were looking north, it'd be left to right. So right to left, that would be southwest. Okay. So we are looking southwest. So that's the one we got to believe there. So if we're looking southwest, we're looking at this guy. Which this one does have a little bit of rotation. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's so hard. I'm sorry. It is so hard to figure out which storm you're looking at and triangulate it and all that kind of stuff, and then figure out which way the camera is facing. But this one's definitely facing southwest, and there actually is a little bit of rotation on this storm. So everything I just said, forget about it. See, I was trusting the top part. It said northbound. And for other cameras across the United States, that means it's facing north. But as you can see, it has this little southwest thing there, which made me doubt myself. And then just using the storm as a guide, which is what I should do, honestly. It's definitely looking to the south and west. So that could be a little developing wall cloud there. Sorry for the mix-up. It's hard. It's really hard sometimes to figure out this kind of stuff. I'm horrible at triangulation. What are the kinematics like? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Like no shear. But sometimes near the surface you get these the onshore flow. Oh, don't do that. And then we just got pranked. Okay. I was like, oh no. This always happens, but no, they brought it back. Okay. Yeah, we definitely got pranked there. They're like, let's change it, make them all frustrated. Right? Someone's watching the stream. If you're controlling the camera and you're watching the stream, do the same thing you just did again. We'll see. That would be funny though. Yeah, still looking kind of like a wall cloud there. There's a little bit of rotation in this storm. It's not a lot. So it's a very weak wall cloud if it is one. Wall cloud is a weird kind of definition to explain to people. It's a lowering, but there usually has to be a decent amount of rotation. The rotation up here near Boynton Beach, though, is still getting weaker and weaker, so that's good. Not seeing any new rotations pop up here to the north. And then down here, we're watching this storm on the webcam. Still not looking too concerning at this moment. But it's definitely a cool storm to watch. Thank you, James, for subscribing. I do appreciate that. If you guys want to join James in subscribing, we're one of the only channels that go live on short notice. So you never know. You might be put under a surprise tornado warning when you were not expecting and when you were not expecting, and I'll go live. So just keep me in your back pocket. Hit that subscribe button. Also, consider hitting that like button as well if you have appreciated or enjoyed the coverage so far. And if you hated it, you can hit that dislike button. I'm kind of thinking there might be a better camera at this point, but I'm afraid to leave this one. Hey, Judy. Yeah, it's definitely had a couple little lowerings here and there, but I mean, the storm really isn't rotating that much. So I'm not thinking tornado at this moment. Let me just double check where this camera is. Yeah. Right there. Yeah, we're looking somewhere in this area. I think we're like right on this right on this little hump here. I still think that. And we're looking to the southwest. So we're looking at this thing right here. This storm. Yeah, still check this radar here. Maybe the shorter range radar. Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of rotation. There's just really weak, really weak. And so I'm thinking it's like a lowering, but I'm not sure if we can like classify that as a wall cloud. Blob of cloud, that could be. I like that. If if it looks like a wall cloud, but the rotation's too weak for it to really mean anything, maybe we can just call it a blob. Looks like a rain shower. Well, now it does. You should have seen it earlier. Oh, that was a lightning bolt there. Of course, it happens right as I try to look for another cam. I want to see if we can get a better view on this thing. This one might eventually get it in its view here. It's just getting shrouded by rain. This could be a good cam in the future there. Maybe one of these cams. My goodness, what is that? That's a scary looking cloud. I think that's all it is. And a very classic SLC. I thank you, Nick, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Florida did not have a risk. How's the mic sounding, by the way? I had to make some changes to the mic because my gain booster broke. Is the volume okay? It was making my volume like spike for some reason. Go back to this one. Yeah, awesome. So I have because I use this mic right here. This is a SM7B. The gain is typically lower, And so I had to buy a gain booster, but then the gain booster broke last stream, and it caused it to like to be way too loud. Hey, Laria and Blondie, hello, hello. Let's come back down to here, check on these storms. Any new areas of rotation? No. Check on this one near Boynton Beach. Yeah. Rotations are really starting to die here, which is great news. That's what we like to see. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning issued here. Still with the tornado possible tag. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Going to be possible for Delray Beach, Rainbow Homes, and Tropical Isle. Highland Beach as well. Watch out for this storm. Definitely don't want to be outdoors with this. Yeah, there was no tornado threat today, but we had a tornado warning earlier, and it was with this storm right here. If we go over to the velocities here and kind of back it up, you can see why they warned it. There's some decent rotation on this. It was a little broad, according to this radar, but we've come back over to this one. Bring back the frames to 30, since this one updates like once every minute or so. You can see we had some moments here where there was a decent amount of rotation on it. I gotta go further back, believe it or not. But it was this little dude here. We'll go back 75 frames. So it came down to the south, and then initially got warned because of this little area of rotation. And that continued, kind of died off there. And then, we had another little area of rotation there near Dunes Road, Delray Gardens. Don't have any confirmation just yet if this thing has produced a tornado or not. But now you can see that that rotation is pretty weak at this moment. Let's come back over here, see if we can find another view of this storm. Might be able to, I think it was one of these cameras down here that might have that had that view that might help out. I think it was this one. Yeah. This one might give us a clearer view eventually as the storm moves into frame, if it ever does. Is Claremont, Florida going to have a tornado threat? I really don't think so. I really think our tornado threat is going to, stay down here, kind of in this region. You never know with some of these higher precipitation supercells. Sometimes you can get some weird mergers, like these ones down here. Might have to watch a little bit. But Claremont's over here. And, we really don't have too much storm activity in your area just yet. These guys can maybe meander a little bit over to the east that could eventually cause something for you. And we also have these ones up here just to the west of Jacksonville. Not any rotation with them, but again, high precipitation supercells can sometimes have weird mergers, and even in a weak environment, there can be somewhat of a tornado threat, but I really don't think much is going to happen there. If anything happens, I still believe it's going to happen along the coast. It's typically how these, unexpected tornado threat days work out here in Florida. What about Orlando? I really don't think so for Orlando. You guys are kind of in like this stormless bubble right now. Maybe in the southern portion could see some storms, but tornado threat. I really don't think these storms could really do anything unless we get some sort of atmospheric accident, which is impossible to predict. But the only storms that have showed any promise in terms of rotation are these ones. So that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. But I mean, as of right now, they're not showing any promise. They are losing those rotations quite quickly. So we might be nearing the end of this coastal threat. We'll watch for a little bit longer, especially if we can continue to get some nice views on these storms. Is that thing still there? It is. Look at it. Still hanging out. Let's look at our scary looking cloud here. It looks like a funnel, but it's not a funnel. That is definitely not a funnel. New mesoscale discussion. I can't really show it because I don't have that set up. We might set that up if we need to. But I'll read it to you guys. New mesoscale discussion. Huh. I'm not seeing it. As an SPC update. Yeah, still not highlighting a tornado risk. Is it a smudge on the camera? No, that's definitely a cloud. It's really the only view we have on anything on this storm right now. Let's see how this camera's looking, see if it's still rain wrapped. Yeah, still very rain wrapped. Check some of these other ones. Let's look around until we can get a good view again. Maybe we should look at other storms other than this one. Yeah, probably not many storms to look at here. There's one near Delray Beach. If we can get one facing north from Boca Raton, like one of these. All facing south. This one's broken. Still shrouded in rain. This is on the back side of the storm. Really much to look at there. We just gotta rely on this camera here, I guess. This is the only one that'll eventually be able to show us, I think, if anything starts to move over. Maybe a little bit to the east, maybe? See if there's any to the east. They're shrouded in rain. Wow. Look at that. I need to go further south. Hold on. There we go. Hey, thank you, Mr. CVG, for subscribing. I appreciate it. This is so random. Yeah, it happens, man. Florida is random when it comes to these, like, sometimes all it takes in Florida is a thunderstorm. Yeah, this is a great view here on on this part of the storm here. If we come over to here. So this is like in this region here, and it's looking up at this storm. So that's what we're looking at, this guy. Still not a whole lot of rotation with it, but at least we have a view on it just in case it tries to do anything. I don't think that's a wall cloud there. There could be an argument that going further south might give us a little bit better of a view. Let me just check that out. Go too far south. Whoa, what the heck is that? I don't know if that's a scary looking cloud or a funnel or what. Let me check radar. I don't think there's enough here to justify that being anything. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there on radar. I think that's just a scary looking cloud. It looks like a tornado's about to happen, but I think that's a scary looking cloud. I think it's Scud. This camera's not the best. I mean, when it gets a little bit of a clear view, you can really see whatever that is. I don't see any power flashes or anything, so I don't think we're dealing with one of those. We come over here to the velocities. What is that? Don't think that's anything. Let me check one of these closer things here. Yeah. There's no rotation with this storm. I would be extremely surprised if that was anything but Scud. But it looks it looks the part, but I don't think it's a tornado, guys. This doesn't match up. Let's go to this one that was over here, I think. See what it looks like from this view. Yeah, from this view, you can see it a little bit better. And it's not touching the ground. False wedge. Yeah. It's definitely a mesocyclone, though. That's where we need to be looking for this storm, at least. But I just want to get a better view. I mean, this is not a bad view. Don't get me wrong. But I just want to get one that's like, you know, really got a clear picture of this storm. That one's a little bit fuzzy. Yeah, I guess this is the best one we got. We'll stick it here. This storm starts to rotate and tries to do anything. I mean, we'll have a good view on it for now. Given that this is south of the storm, and I'm really not expecting any rain to come through anytime soon unless we get like a merger. Roll NATO, yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of like that's another thing that happens a lot of the times with these Florida storms is that, they have a lot of moisture, right, to deal with because it's the ocean's right there. And so you get a lot of those scary looking clouds with these storms. Check the radar. Yeah, storm's looking still pretty unimpressive right now. There's a little bit of rotation back in here, just very broad right now. But if any storm's going to try to do it again, it'll probably be this one. But I think it has to get closer to the coast. If the pattern continues here, it would have to get a little bit further, closer to the coast. See where it's going. Is it kind of just stalled at this point? No, it's moving slowly. So it would probably be somewhere over here near Oakland Park, Willow Manors, where it would have an opportunity here to maybe start to rotate a little bit more. So it won't be for a while. Yeah, I don't think we can call it a wall cloud. Hey, Bam Wild. Welcome to the stream. We had a tornado warning earlier. And that storm has died, and now we're watching this new storm because we have a view on it. We're kind of just digital storm chasing at this point, waiting to see if any of these storms, as they get closer to the coast, will try to do anything. Got this storm looking Looking like a funnel again, but I still don't think that's a funnel. I think we're still dealing with scud here. Really wish this camera was clear. Giving up just yet. I want to see if any of these cameras have a little bit more of a higher depth. That one definitely doesn't. A little bit more of a whoa. Oh, here we go. It's a little bit higher definition. This is facing west, so that's it. These traffic cams never fail. I'm not sure if that's like the area. Let me just double check. I think that's it though. So that's like a little bit further north. Yeah, I'm looking to the west. So this one over here is looking to the north. And this one's looking at it a little bit closer and to the west. Just double check just to make sure this is our best camera. Always got to double check. You never know. There could be a better view. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the best one we got. For sure. That's the area of interest. So we'll watch this camera until it kind of comes out of view. And as you can see, closer up, it's not looking nearly as menacing, in my opinion. Yeah, I made the thumbnail in 5 seconds, Florida man, so. Is this going to weaken? Most likely. Most likely will. Um, as day turns to night. Got another cell forming here. Near Kendall. It's supposed to, given the environment that we have. Still not seeing any areas of definite or stronger rotation on this storm. There was a little brief period where it had some weak rotation, but that is not the case anymore. Check some of these other storms. Yeah. Still kind of a weak storm. Interested to see, though, what it's going to do as it gets a little bit closer to the shore, but it shouldn't do anything. We're just being cautious, keeping the stream going just because, you know, typically when you get that pattern set up, you can get another storm that tries to rotate as it gets closer to the coast and prompt a tornado warning. And I really don't want to end the stream and then bring it back on again, especially when we have so many good views of the storm. Kind of seems like, just looking at the storm, that there's a little bit of rotation in there. Maybe closer to the surface. Yeah, there is a little bit. So using this radar that is a little bit closer to the storm, terminal radar, there is a little bit in there. A lot, but looking at the camera and then comparing it to this one that's closer. So you got this one. This one is a terminal radar. It's not the best radar, but it's a decent radar, especially when they're closer to the storms. And this is the farther away radar, so we're looking up a little bit higher into the storm. So there's not, I mean, it's again, it's very weak rotation though. So got another SLC forming. on the left side. When I get a chance, can I look at the storms between Gainesville and Ocala? Yeah, we can do that. Gainesville is over here, and Ocala. Yeah, there's some storms here. Again, we're not expecting them to really do much in terms of rotation. But they could, some of these could become severe. This one might have a little bit of small hail in it, some lightning and some, heftier winds there, but, really not looking like too much of a threat at the moment. Just be indoors for that one. You should be all right. Latest scan here looks like that little area of weak rotation was very quick there. No problem. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. We get views like this all the time. Helps the channel out, and it helps you out when you hit that subscribe button, as you can get a notification the next time I go live. Sometimes we have storm chasers. We don't have storm chasers today, though. And also consider hitting that like button. It does help us reach more people with this semi-important weather information, although, from this point on, really could be talking about a non-threat. I'm going to be honest. But, I always like to be overly cautious and watch the storms, just in case, especially as these ones approach the coast, just to make sure that we're not going to get them starting to rotate. So yeah, no, that's just a scary looking cloud, Carolina. Let's go back and check this camera. Yeah, little feature is pretty much gone now. Really our best view here. Come back and check the radar. Yeah, still not seeing anything. Seems like this storm is pretty unorganized at this moment. We'll keep watching it just for a little bit longer. But I mean, if it doesn't start to rotate and do anything, within the next 20 minutes or the next like 10, 20 minutes, I'll probably put a pin in it there and just kind of go back into monitoring mode. I want to search around a little bit more. Never know what some of these cameras will show you. Could be an even better view of this storm just waiting to be found. Thank you, Pam Wild, for being a member for 11 months. I do appreciate it. Keep everyone safe. Can only get on when I can nowadays. Understandable. I do appreciate your support, your monthly support. That does help out the channel a lot. A lot, considering that we, are a smaller channel and do this full time. So I do appreciate that. Hopefully your day is going all right. Yeah, it's only this camera. Really, it's got a good view here of the storm. Have I ever witnessed a car crash during my streams? No, we've seen some wrecks, but I've never actually seen a crash. Over here, check on the latest scan. Got a little bit of a something there. Let's check to see if that means anything. Not really. We go like south a little bit more. Maybe along this road. Nope. This one continues to be the only one, which is gonna suck when we need to, you know, look around in other places. So like I've seen a wreck as in like, oh, that was almost a wreck there. Jeez. Yeah, I've seen a wreck, which like after the fact, pretty much. So like, cars that are like crashed on the side of the road. And I've never seen it like happen like in front of me. Camera's starting to struggle. Wonder what this camera's looking like now. Still looking kind of the same. Nearing the end here. Still not seeing any indications that these storms are going to start to do stuff. What's that? I don't think that's anything. I think that's just a glitch there. Did I see the yeah, I saw that, Jordan. Yeah, the so last night the HRRR came into range uh, of came into range of that storm we've been watching. Or I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And it's looking it brings the moisture and the fuel all the way up into Wisconsin, which is where there's a little bit of a better upper level shear environment. So that's why they added the 2% there, mainly just based off of the HRRR. The NAM model has a little bit of fuel up there, but a lot of it is capped. So it could be a new trend that we have to watch. But as of right now, yeah, they did add that 2%, most likely because of that HRRR run. Could this be a tornado forming? I don't think so as of right now. I mean, we go to the radar's images from this storm are still pretty lackluster. Still not seeing any new areas of stronger rotation with this guy. So I don't think a tornado is forming right now. We're kind of at the end here, I think. Plus another storm can start to do something, but is there anything heading towards Vero Beach? Where's Vero Beach at? Not at the moment. I'm gonna clear around you right now. Some storms could potentially try to fire around. Looks like there's a little boundary Actually, it's further to the south. There's a little boundary to the south here. Might fire off some storms that could meander towards you, but it looks like they're kind of dying off there. Most of the storms here in Florida, if we look around, they should stay pretty marginal in terms of their impacts. Really not expecting these ones further inland to really rotate at all. Yeah, you can see we have a couple of storms over there, just to the west of Jacksonville, over here near Live Oak. But so far, none of them are severe. Some of them have been becoming severe, so I wouldn't rule that out. Maybe you can get a weaker severe storm. Also have a decent little area of heavier rain, maybe some small hail entering into southern Orlando. This one's kind of meandering to the north now. So that actually might make it into downtown Orlando. So watch out there. Definitely be indoors with that storm, but you know, kind of a marginal severe day. It's not going to be like big hail. You could get up to quarter-sized hail, but we're not talking about a tornado threat really anywhere else than right along here. Guidelines are just try to stay on topic, which is the weather. And that's pretty much it. It's fine to talk about other things, but you know, I don't really care just as long as you're not like being mean to somebody. We don't like politics though. Definitely no politics. But yeah, I mean, you can talk about pretty much whatever you want. Just don't hate on other people. Don't be mean. You won't get banned. See the tornado warnings for Boynton Beach and Atlantis a couple hours ago. Yeah, we were covering that, Kenneth. That's what prompted the live. And now we're just kind of sitting around seeing if anything else is going to happen. It really doesn't look like it. This storm is becoming quite unorganized. Tried to organize there for a little bit, but now it's kind of on the downtrend. We have these little storms back here, though. Don't think this one's going to do anything, but this one down here is starting to pique my interest. I want to get a view on this one, or see if we can. That one could be interesting to look at now. Not sure, though, if we have any cameras in that region. There's Homestead. So, yeah, it's along this region. Maybe if we take one of these looking north. That's it. Yeah, there it is, off in the distance. Thank you, Stealth, for subscribing. I do appreciate it. This cam will have a really good view of the storm in a little bit. So we'll keep it on this camera for now. Kind of lost faith in that one. Yeah, none of these other storms are rotating. I don't think this storm is going to do anything. But it is kind of latched onto a boundary here. Not rotating. And I might just go. I mean, what do y'all think? Should I just go back into monitoring mode? Or is this being helpful, even though that there's not, any rotating storms? I mean, I'm not going to stay on just to cover rain. I don't think the tornado threat is high right now. It's very, very low. So it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to still digital storm chase? because we can keep digital storm chasing. I love digital storm. That's gonna be what I'm doing. It's gonna be what I'm doing. I do have to do a forecast tonight around 6. So at some point, I'm gonna have to start preparing for that. So it can't go on forever. Am I monitoring the upper regions of Florida? Not for tornadoes, severe weather. I think it could be possible up there. We got to watch, maybe for like a mesoscale accident, but so far, that's like impossible to predict. It would be random, but those are very rare. Okay, this one should have a real good view of the storm here in a little bit. As the storm gets closer, because right there, what we're looking at on like the top left, that would be the mesocyclone of the storm, if it has one. At least the updraft of it, at the very least. Yeah, as you can see, like the rain is over here to the right. This very grayed out area here on the right side, that's that rain falling out. And then right there on the top left, that is where, if rotation were to start with this storm, that's where it would happen. And another little storm popping up over here now near Weston. Might be interesting to try to get a view on that. We'll go look up there, check out that storm for a little bit. Yeah, you can really see that storm back there. Let's see here. Find a camera. So that would be near Pembroke Pines. Pembroke Pines. Where's Pembroke Pines? Oh, there it is. And that would be like right here. It's kind of a boring storm. We'll come back down to this camera. Find it. There we go. You have your eyes on tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Be doing a forecast on that later on today at 6. So we'll see. Do I ever think if there's a pop-up tornado? What do you mean by that? Friday looks interesting. Yeah, Friday is starting to look interesting. Would mainly I haven't looked at it too much because it's been kind of out of range. At least for me, I don't like to look at storms because I don't like to or that are that far out. I usually like to wait until they're within the 5 day range. Something could happen somewhere along the Gulf Coast in this region, but we'll probably end up talking about that storm tomorrow. We'll have to see. Don't really have an opinion on it because I have looked at it like briefly. I've seen it on Twitter, but I haven't really like did a deep dive into it yet, just because it's still a little bit far out for me at least. Do I think the tornado threat tomorrow will be similar to February 8th? No, not at all. Not at all. The February 8th was like a kind of a cold core like, or it wasn't cold core, but it like acted similar to a cold core type setup. The ceiling was high, but there was a lot of uncertainty, so that's why we ended up getting an EF2 out of it. Because the kinematics were there. This storm tomorrow is not kinematically set up like that. I mean, you got the lower level shear over here, you got the upper level shear, really back in this region. And the Cape, or I guess the lower level shear is kind of more like this. The Cape for the storm, yesterday when we were forecasting it was like down here, but the HRRR brought a little bit more moisture further up to the north, which is why they are uncapped moisture further up to the north, towards Wisconsin. And the NAM has a little bit of an area there as well, but you know, um, the storm is very disorganized. I mean, I think the upper level low is centered all the way up here in Canada. You have a little bit of a surface low that brings that moisture up, but really not the best lining up of kinematics to create that spin in the atmosphere. So it's pretty marginal. I don't think the ceiling's going to be high for it at all. So if we do end up getting a tornado, I think it's going to be very brief and weak. So I usually do that for Discord. I usually do an announcement on Discord. Usually, sometimes I forget. One of the bots that I do want to add, I have to get it custom made. I want to make a bot that where you can just type in your like exclamation point and your zip code, and you can get any detail about the threats for your areas. Like it'll say like you're in a slight risk. You have 5% for tornadoes, 5% for hail, 15% for damaging winds. And so where people are trying, especially when I have like 1,000 people watching at one time for a forecast, and get very hard to answer everybody. And I think a bot like that could help the folks that are really wanting to get their answers or their questions answered, but doesn't. But I don't have I just can't answer everybody when there's that many people. But I'd have to get that custom made. And I have a friend that can do it. Hey, Judy, first dono of the stream. Thank you very much, Judy, for that $20 donation. I do appreciate that big time. I will use that to pay my bills. Thank you very much. Everybody put birthday cakes in the chat for Judy. Thank you. It's a huge help. You're always very supportive, and I do appreciate that, Judy. Yeah. These storms are looking still pretty weak. Pretty weak. Still not a whole lot of rotation with any of these guys right now. Wonder what this one over here near Fort Lauderdale is looking like. Be like right in here. Oh wow. Look at that view. A lot of rain falling on the right side. All that is rain, and then you have what appears to be a shelf, some sort of shelf or updraft overneath or over above the camera here. Rain's about to push in. Also the wind, which is making this camera struggle a little bit here. And the camera died. What about this view? How's this view looking now? Unimpressive. Check some of these other cameras. Oh wow, look at this is inside the storm. In that rain blob we were just looking at, that's what it looks like. A lot of rain. Not looking like too heavy winds with it. One's down too. I wonder if we just got a power outage. All these cameras along this road seem to be down. Might be able to see this other storm that's behind it with one of these cams. It's not a bad view. Not the best view, but not a bad view. I think that one would be located this, like that, looking south. It's got a little bit more rotation with some of these storms. Still very weak, though. So it's got some weak rotation on it as well. This one looks like from this one. This one's got weak rotation as well. So yeah, still kind of meh at the moment. We'll do a broad scale check here for you guys. So over here near Orlando, oh yeah, look at this storm. Still kind of picking up in strength, maybe a little bit bigger hail in there. In South Orlando, heading towards Conway, about to head through downtown. No rotation on it though, so that's good. Let's check on this radar here, see what it looks like. Yeah, some bigger hail could be falling there in Orlando. Let me check the Ville. Yeah, it's almost that's almost severe there. Be surprised if they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this if it keeps it up. Yeah, it's heading towards it's heading along Highway 4, heading towards 408. Or Anderson Street. Some bigger hail, maybe. We try to get a view on that storm. Man, this one's got a little pretty interesting view on this one, though. Was another tornado in California today? It must have been unwarned, unless it was like early in the morning. I'm not seeing that. Must have been yesterday. It didn't. It did have a warning on it. Yeah, that must have been yesterday. Maybe it was in the morning. That was the day before. Okay, yeah. Storms really aren't doing much. Jazzy, stop rubbing your face on the ground. I think it was just going to be that little brief moment there. Well, what's going on over here? I want to see if we can get a view on this guy here. That's what I want. So let's go do that. Near Orlando. That one looks beefy. Might be a nice shelf cloud on it. Jeez, there's just a couple cams in this region. Surely we can find something facing to the south here. There's a tunnel. For real? On to the north of the storm, there's just nothing. All right, let me make sure I'm looking in the right spot. That's going towards that road. Might be worth it to try to catch it right in this area. Some traffic. Might be seeing some small hail there. Right on this road might have a view. Kinda do. So many cameras. Hard to choose. Which one? Gotta look around and see if we can get that view. Really show anything. Storm's pretty beefy. It should look very obviously like a storm. I mean, really, along Highway 4, looking south, that should be our best bet. But all these guys are looking to the north, which is not helpful. This one's kind of looking to the south. You can see there on the left side, there's something there, but that is not the kind of camera we are looking for here. We are looking for that nice south view. Go a little bit further north. Wow. What are the chances we got all these cameras and none of them are looking south? I don't believe it. One of them has got to be. Hold on. We got to zoom in. Oh, too many cameras that are looking at signs. What's up with that? There's another one. Now watch those signs, man. You never know what they're gonna do. I think that one's looking south, but it's looking at a frickin' sign. So we might have a view of something. Northwest, of course. This is really our only view, surprisingly, of this storm. That one there. Jeez, every single one of these guys are looking north. 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 Check the radar. I'll give you guys a little update. It's moving into downtown Orlando now. Near Conway there. We're trying to find cameras along this road. Along this road is going to be two, maybe like over here. We'll try there. Over there near Alphea. We can get one looking east from there. Might be able to see something. Ay, ay, ay. Hope I'm in. Oh, there's a little something. Just looking south, kind of southeast. This is the storm near Orlando. No, we're not going to get a tornado in Orlando. We're not looking for it. We're just kind of trying to get a view of the storm. We're not. I know the title says tornado threat. We should probably change the title. I still think, though, there could be a little spin up down there, though. So I'll probably keep it as it is. Hey, thank you, Judy, for the $5 donation. I do appreciate it. While it's quiet, will the rain on Wednesday and Thursday be enough to douse the fires in your area? Um, it should. Yeah, I mean, the fires aren't burning too bright out there, so I'm thinking, yeah. As long as they don't grow too much today, because we still got that fire risk out there. These cameras are just not showing us what we want to see. Like, I'm thinking if we can get like this one looking at the storm, it would look good. But no. If we could get this one looking at the storm, it would be good. This one would still be good. It's far away, but we'd still be able to see something there. Like that. Like, you can still see the storm. We just need that one good camera. Sometimes it can be frustrating. Yeah, these ones won't show us anything. We're getting too far. What about this one? Yeah, I mean, this is the only good one we got. Man, it kind of sucks. Too close to the storm. Let's go back and check the radar. We'll go back and check the area where we're actually expecting, or not expecting really anything, but where something could happen would be with these storms in terms of the tornado threat. Gonna look interesting down here. I'm betting this looks good on. So let's get this one back in view. This one's gonna be heading towards the Miami region here shortly. One of these cams. Oh wow. Look at it now. And a little bit more organized. Man, I just remembered I didn't eat breakfast. Shoot. It's getting close to lunchtime. I'm starting to get hungry. I always get interrupted by weather, and then I forget to do stuff. My coverage is pretty sad. Why do you say that, Caroline? Always open to constructive criticism. That's this storm here, north of Homestead. Hey, thank you, Judy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Do appreciate that big time. Everybody put birthday cakes in the chat and make sure that you thank Judy if you do get gifted a membership. Yeah, these storms over here near Fort Lauderdale still really aren't doing much. Still some heavier rain there. Same with that one over there near Boynton Beach. I'm about to call it quits for today. These storms just really aren't doing anything. We have such a good view on this storm, but it's just like, I mean, it's not going to produce a tornado. I don't think. So we'll watch the storm here for a couple more minutes, and then I'm probably going to get off. Is it a wall cloud? No. There's no rotation on this guy right now. Yeah, thank you so much, Judy. You've been a huge help out on this live stream. So I do appreciate it big time. Well, get some sleep, Pam Wild. Thank you for tuning in. Get yourself a nice little nap. Judy for MVP. Yeah, she has. That is true, Blondie. Had 6 inches of snow. Nice. But all right, I think that's going to be it for me, everybody. Little impromptu stream prompted by an unexpected tornado warning, but I'm gonna get ready for the live stream tonight. So I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. Hopefully, I don't think we got a tornado out of that storm, but we didn't really have a great radar to see any of that. See if we had any debris ball or anything. So there might have been a small one. I don't know. But we couldn't confirm it on radar, so I'll be monitoring. The latest updates on that. Um, Thank you, RG5, for being a member for 6 months. I do appreciate that as well. I do. But yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody that liked the stream. You did help us reach more people with this stream, I do believe. And yeah, I'll be live at around I'll probably push it back to 6:30. Most likely. We'll see. If I can get it ready in time, we'll keep it at 6 p.m. But yeah, I will see you guys then at 6 p.m. and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your evening. I'll be monitoring also. If we get any spin ups or tornado warnings, we'll probably do another impromptu live. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. You guys take it easy, and I'll see you later.